I think the Knicks was a great decision because I feel like their team it really matched my DNA. I would say to fight, to play hard, to be the kind of like the underdogs to go and fight every night. What I like about the team is what they did also this season. It's a couple of teams that we play against, and I was looking at them like, oh my God, this team play good together. Like they're a good team. I can tell like it's a good group of guys. There's no bad guys. There's no problems. And I was looking at, oh my God, this could be like a good chance and opportunity to play there. And it's New York, of course. It's a big, big, big history franchise. With everything that they had. So to be able to be part of this was amazing, and I really think in their system, I can be really helpful. I think the Knicks was
So, man, um, first of all, shouts to, let me fix this screen, man. Right. First of all, shouts to Guerschon Yabusele. Appreciate him for joining the New York Knicks franchise. Like Guerschon Yabusele, for me personally, I felt like he was like one of those guys who the Knicks needed expeditiously. And the reason why we needed him was because we needed another tall wing. That was one of my main issues with the Knicks. I said, yo, you got OG, you got Mikal. You don't have to necessarily, you don't gotta, for me personally, you don't gotta trade any of those guys. Right? If you want to run it back, I understand if you want to run it back, but you still needed another tall wing off the bench. So that's why I love the Yabusele pickup. I think Yabusele actually helps the Knicks in certain things. And what's one of the things that Yabusele helps with, really? The height difference, right? The Knicks had a problem, and especially with Thibodeau, and I always hated this. Like, I've always hated this. This was like one of my little pet peeves when it came to Tibbs, but the Knicks had a real problem with height. With Thibodeau, this guy, he always want to bring guys off the bench who was like 6'1", 6'2". And I always hated that. Always. But let's go look at what Yabusele said about Mike Brown specifically. Shouts to Yabusele for signing with the New York Knicks, by the way.
I don't know him personally, and then we haven't talked on the phone or anything like that yet. I think it's gonna happen in the next couple of days. But he's a great coach, from what I've heard around coaches from Philly that we was talking the other day, or people just in general that just told me he's a great guy. You listen to his staff. He wants to go hard. I've seen what he did with the Sacramento too. It was first team in offense, so it was obviously this come from something. So he's just a great guy from what I've heard, and he cares about the players, he cares about the team, about winning, and I think we I need that, to be able to be in a situation where the coach can trust me, can play me, and then be in the right place at the right time.
Yo, love what Yabusele is saying. Um, I think Yabusele is going to be a staple in what the Knicks do. But also when it comes to Yabusele, the thing that I like about Yabusele, he went overseas. So Yabusele got it out the mud, to be honest with you. And when you got a guy who got it out the mud, those guys like genuinely usually like succeed. They usually succeed because those guys, they ain't got nothing to lose. When you got a guy who ain't got nothing to lose, a guy who's on his last legs, a guy who he's trying to make the NBA, but it's really hard for him to make the NBA because of certain things. Okay, cool, no problem. And that's what I love about Yabusele the most, me personally. Matter of fact, let me get this on a share screen right now for Knicks fans. So when it comes to Yabusele, hold on, let me put myself at the bottom. So when it comes to Yabusele, and we signed Jordan Clarkson as well. So I get to the Jordan Clarkson signing in a few. But when it comes to Yabusele, Knicks signed Guerschon Yabusele to a 2-year, $12 million deal, right? A player option in year 2, right? In 2024, 2025, Yabusele averaged 11 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game, 0.8 steals per game. He shot 50% from the field. 50%. That's something that you love from a wing. Very efficient. Very efficient. Right? You want guys that's efficient, by the way. Right? So very efficient, by the way. So shouts to Guerschon Yabusele. 50% from the field, 38% from three. Right? On 104 3-pointers made, he shot 274 threes last season. He was 43% on open catch and shoot threes this last season. So not only the fact that he can make his threes, but on open threes, he's guaranteed money. Something that you like to see, man, from a wing, especially with this team. He was 79% on field goal percentage in transition. So you know he's money in transition. He also has a 3.1 assist to 1.8 turnover ratio per 40 minutes. So he can move the ball. He can move the ball. I like Guerschon Yabusele, man. 6'8", 240 pounds. Somebody, he plays above the rim a little bit, right? Athletic, French guy. So you know we got Mohamed Diawa, right? You know we got Pacome Daddier. If you got those two guys, those are French guys. You got another French guy. So now your locker room is looking clean. You also helping the locker room with this. It's a great locker room move too. I'm so happy Guerschon Yabusele signed with the Knicks because we needed a guy like that. Not starting, but I don't know. Even if he started, it's like, okay, you got OG, Guerschon Yabusele, you got Mikal Bridges. One of them gonna have to turn into an all-star. One of them. You need one of the wings. And my main issue with the Knicks, and biggest problem with the Knicks, biggest problem with the Knicks. I don't care what another Knicks fan say. We don't have enough ball handlers. That's my biggest problem with the Knicks. Everything else can be fixed. Everything else can be fixed. Surely can be fixed. And if anybody you want to join the convo, I left the link into the chat. I got the link on my Twitter, so anybody could join the convo. But as far as like trying to see who's the starters, I don't like OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges creating. I want somebody creating for them. Those are the guys that they stand in the corner and they wait for the other beep bop boop guy to give them the ball. I don't want those guys creating. I think that puts them at a disservice, actually. I think when you got a guy like OG, for example, right? If I had, not even if I had, we got OG. But a guy like OG, I want OG next to two guys who could just handle the pill. Because I want OG to not think about what he needs to do on offense. I want OG to just flow. I want him to just flow. He can't just flow when you're asking him to, hey, we need you on ball and we need you to create a shot for yourself. That's not his game. That's not Mikal Bridges' game either, at all. That's not their game. And I don't want to ask them to do that. I think that's blasphemous, personally. I think that's blasphemous to ask OG and Mikal, hey, I need you to go shot create. So then what's my next option? I got to go get a playmaker. I love the Jordy Clarkson pickup, by the way. But Guerschon Yabusele, he's not another wing where I'm going to tell him, hey, go get your own shot. Go beep bop boop. Hey, go get your own shot. I'm not going to tell him that. That's not his game. And shouts that going back to Yabusele, EuroLeague champ in 2023. EuroLeague finalist in 2022. All EuroLeague second team in 2023. Spanish Liga ABC champ in 2023. Copa del Rey champ in 2023. Two-time French and LNB Pro A All-Star in 2018 and 2019. LNB Young Player Team in 2016. The pro teams he's played for overseas is Rouen Matrele Basket. You know me. I'm a butcher the name. I apologize. You got the Shanghai Sharks. You got the ASVLE. Well, VEL. I apologize. Basket. What is this? Velabrini? This sound like Benny from Final Fantasy 9. Anybody who's played Final Fantasy 9, the queen lady. I'm talking about the queen lady in Final Fantasy 9. Anybody who's played Final Fantasy 9, the queen lady, Benny, that's what that sounds. Benny. You also play for Real Madrid, right? And that's stuff that you like to see, by the way. When you got a guy who played for Real Madrid. So last season, one of the most interesting things about Guerschon Yabusele that I really love, he played 73% of his 1,895 minutes at center for Philadelphia. So on the Knicks, we don't need him to really play center for that many minutes. I understand that Philly, they was ravaged by injury. They was going through a lot. Embiid, he's a cuck, right? Embiid, he's always getting hurt. They was just going through a lot. But the fact that he plays 73% of his minutes at small ball center tells me that he's very versatile, right? And on the Knicks, we don't really need him to play small ball center, because I would love to see OG at that spot. I would love to see OG at the small ball center with like 3 other wings, 2 guards. But since he's played a lot of his minutes at small ball center, that gives the Knicks a chance to be very versatile. Because I can still play Guerschon Yabusele with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, and we could just switch the front court, whoever may be. It's just my only one problem with the group is who's the ball handler. Somebody got to handle the pill. Somebody got to play make. Somebody got to play make. So I like what I'm seeing so far. And only 8 centers with 1,800 plus minutes made 100 plus threes last season. Jokic, Cat, Miles Turner, Naz Reid, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., obviously, Vujicic, Alexander Sarr, and now you got Guerschon Yabusele. Listen, man, I love the pickup. I love the fact that the Knicks went out. And even with Guerschon Yabusele, he said himself, like, he got lowballed. He said himself he got lowballed. And speaking of lowball, the Knicks are now 3.53 million below the second apron and hard cap, right? Per Jeremy Cohen. Shout out to Jeremy Cohen. He always get the numbers right. Right? 12 players on the contract, obviously, except Kevin McCullough Jr. and a rookie that's going to round out the roster. So we got 14 players right now, I believe, right, on the roster. I like that. I don't have to worry about, who's going to be on the roster next season and, who's going to do this next season. I don't have to worry about, stuff like that. I think when it comes to the Knicks, I think probably the only thing that we really need to worry about right now, per se, is what's the starting lineup like? What's the starting lineup like? Because listen, me personally, I still think the Knicks need to make a trade. I still think they need to make a trade. Because at the end of the day, you love OG, you love Mikal, you know they both wing defenders. You love Cat. You love what Cat could do on the offense. You love what Cat could bring. But when it comes to the starting five, when it comes to Jalen Brunson's prime, when it comes to just making sure that just Jalen Brunson is just upright when he's 32 years old, you're going to need another playmaker. You're going to need another one. You're going to need another one. And I love Jordy Clarkson. I love him for the bench. He's a guy that can play on ball, off ball, and I know he can beat Babu. That's one of the main things. You know what I was looking for in free agency? Yo, look, State, what you looking for? I'm looking for a guy who could beat Babu. This team, we don't got enough guys who could do that. We don't got enough guys who could say, F the play, I'm going off script. And Jordy Clarkson is the guy that could do that, in my opinion. So now the bench unit, you coming with Jordy Clarkson, Deuce McBride. Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start, you know. Jordy Clarkson not trash. That's a great start, actually. Because now you know when it comes to Jordy Clarkson, even in a bad season, you know you're getting at least 15 points per game off the bench. You know it. At least. At least. So that's what I love. That's what I love about the pickup. Like, I ain't got to worry about certain things like, yo, if Deuce McBride is coming on to the court, is there somebody with him who can play make a little bit? Because I don't believe Jordy Clarkson is a playmaker. Just me personally. I don't believe Jordy Clarkson is a guy who, like, I'm not trying to ask him to, hey, Jordy, I want you to go out there and I want you to play make for other guys. I'm not asking Jordy Clarkson to do that. Hell no. Why? I'm taking away from his game. And that's how I feel about him. I feel like if you go out there and you tell Jordy, hey, you got to make sure that other guys get shots, you're 1,000% taken away from his game. 1,000%. 1,000%. And Jordy Clarkson last season, he averaged 16.2 points per game, 3.7 assists per game, and 3.2 rebounds with 0.8 assists. 0.8 steals per game. I apologize for that. Right? And that's something that you love from Jordy Clarkson. I wish Jordy Clarkson was years younger, man. And the reason why I wish he was years younger, because Jordy Clarkson is a guy that I wish we could start him. Honestly, if he was a couple of years younger, I would say, yo, let's start him. Let's start him. Because that's what you need next to Brunson in the backcourt, me personally. And I love Brunson. But Brunson is a guy who, if Brunson is off that game, I need a guy who's going to be able to offset Brunson in the starting lineup. F the bench. F the bench. The bench at this point. If you're talking about the bench for me, the bench is kind of stacked depending on who the coach is. Just depending on who the coach is. Because the bench right now, you could say, okay, I got Guerschon Yabusele, I got Jordan Clarkson. With these two guys here, I can build off of these two guys. Okay, so who's the next few guys? Who's the next batch that's going to play? Are you going to play Pacome Daddy? One of the interesting questions to ask, right? Because Pacome Daddy, that's your first round pick from the following season, right? Pick 25. He's on a short 3-4 year contract. And when I say short, I'm talking about the money per year. So when you got a guy like Jordy Clarkson, you got a guy like Guerschon Yabusele, you got a guy like Deuce McBride, all of these guys is on these contracts that we have. You need to make sure that the other cheap contracts that we got, make sure they in the rotation and see if they got talent. See that you can possibly move the ball with those guys. Well, move the bench unit with those guys. Also see if one of them could start. Because I think that would be another way where you can kind of offset like the bench production and offset your feelings about the bench. Because what if Ariel Huck-Porty starts? Who knows? Would I be opposed to it? No. Because I think a guy like Ariel Huck-Porty, he would speed up your timeline as far as like what you're doing with certain contracts. If you got a guy who's making under $10 million in your starting lineup and they're actually producing for you, it actually helps you business-wise. Because now you can say, all right, anybody else who's a sunken cost, you could kind of get rid of them. You could kind of get rid of them if they're a sunken cost, right? And when you got a guy, and let me bring this share screen here. Let me bring this share screen here, right? Shouts to all the Knicks fans that's tuning in. You got a guy like Jordy Clarkson. Obviously, he signed for the vet minimum for the New York Knicks. So now the bench backcourt, in my opinion, is Deuce McBride and Jordy Clarkson. Jordy Clarkson is 6th man of the year, all-star skill challenge champion. Ended the Jazz triple-double drought. Shouts to Carlos Boozer. He got a son right now. His son, Cameron Boozer, is cold. Right? Carlos Boozer, he was the last person in Jazz history to have one since 2008. I was 18 years old. Sheesh. Right? Most bench points since 2020. Right? The Knicks, when it comes to the bench, obviously our coach was Thomas Thibodeau. Thomas Thibodeau. When it comes to Tibbs and talking about like, does he love the bench? Thibodeau, you know Thibodeau hates the bench. And let me get to some of these chat comments here. Right? Let me go to some of these chat comments here. He said, yo, Flyboy, that's a fact. Shouts to my guy, Flyboy. Maybe now Mikal becomes more of a ball handler and creator with Tibbs out of the picture. This line right here is so false. And it's false because, in my opinion, right? That's your opinion. In my opinion, this comment is so false because I can't teach somebody at 28, 29 years old to beat Babu. I can't teach somebody at 28, 29 years old who's already dead smacked in their prime to kind of change their game. That's like me coming on here and saying, hey, Karl Anthony Towns, I need you to be an elite rim protector. It's not going to happen. He could protect the rim. You could try to get him to do it. Will you do it at an elite level? No. I don't want to make Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby something they're not. That's what Tibbs tried to do with players for years. So it's better for me to just go get a player who has that archetype already, who has that in their game already. Me personally. Shouts to King, man. Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate you. Shouts to everybody that came to Knicks Twitter Day yesterday. Shouts to Sean. Shouts to everybody. It wasn't just Sean. It wasn't just the organizers that made that a great setting. It was the people that came too, right? You should give yourself a pat on the back, right? This was a great thing, man, that all of us could come together. Nobody's getting shot. Nobody's getting killed. Nobody's getting slashed. Nobody's getting robbed in a safe area. I love stuff like that, man. I love stuff like that, man. So salute the Knicks Twitter, man. Salute the Knicks Twitter. Salute to Sean and everybody on Knicks Film School, but salute the Knicks Twitter, man. We all made this possible. Salute to everybody that seen me yesterday, man. Appreciate everybody that seen me yesterday. You guys are great. Go get a bucket. Yes. Yes. When that Knicks Twitter Day, when the full version come out, because I'm gonna share a couple of more video to Knicks Twitter Day when I get a chance. Matter of fact, let me share a little bit. Let me share a little bit here. Right, Knicks Twitter Day was such a success, but like, obviously I didn't have a team. Sean pulled up on me, explained to me why I didn't have a team. He said I be wilding everybody up. I haven't wilded nobody up in 6 months. You know what I started doing? Block, mute. Before, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna block you. Ain't no point. Like, what am I gonna block you for? There's no point in me blocking you. Right? But at the same time, sometimes you gotta block these dudes, man. Cause ninjas be wilding. Ninjas be wilding, bro. And it gets to a point where you just be tired. You be like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this no more. I gotta see you every time I write a tweet or I write a post or something. And usually when those type of people, when you write a post that they actually agree with, you never see them on that post. As soon as it's a post where it's something that they disagree with, they calling you all types of names, talking to you out your face. Nobody wants to go through that all the time. Not no more. Not in 2025. Not for me. Not for me. Mike Brown is going to transform the offensive system. Anything opposite of what Tibbs is doing is better, in my opinion. Anything what Tibbs opposite of what Tibbs is doing is just better. Right? Let's keep going down here onto the chat. Shouts to everybody in the chat. You got Huckaport. Yep. Don't be surprised if we see a zone defense next year. Yep. Mike Brown definitely runs zone defense. That's something that I've been wanting to see for years. Something that I've always had a problem with Thibodeau. It's just not running a zone defense. I've never understood that, but Thibodeau is super old school. Shouts to King again. Brunson, Mikal, OG, Cat, Mitch, Clarkson, Josh Hart off the bench. No, I don't like that lineup. That lineup is trash. Straight garbage. Straight garbage. Give me some second unit lineups you're looking forward to. That's a good question. Guerschon Yabusele, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Bacone Daddier, Tyler Kolek, Guerschon Yabusele, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, Guerschon Yabusele, Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Bacone Daddier, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Ariel Hakaporti, OG Anunoby at center, Guerschon at the 4, Bacone Daddier, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Bacone Daddier, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Bacone Daddier, Guerschon Yabusele, Deuce McBride, Tyler Kolek. Like it's so many variations, right? So many variations. You go Guerschon Yabusele at small ball center, Mikal Bridges, Pacome Daddier, Tyler Kolek, Deuce McBride. There's so many lineups that you could tinker with, right? But see, as I'm listing all of those lineups, as I'm listing all of those lineups, right? And I'm just thinking about what some of these lineups could do, how some of these lineups could help the New York Knicks. And man, the Knicks is still missing one more key piece. It's just one more key piece. And this key piece that I'm personally looking for, right, is Knicks need a guy like, and just to put some of the, Knicks Twitter joint, you see Trippy and all of these guys right there, right? Guerschon Yabusele and all of these guys, the Knicks could use another ball handler, man. They could definitely use another ball handler. And I think this was the championship game, right? The Knicks could definitely use another ball handler. And one of the guys who I really love personally, who I really like, I'm so mad a lot of Knicks fans just don't like this pickup, but you got Jordan Clarkson, right? Got Jordan Clarkson. Just to finish some of the Jordan Clarkson stats before I move on to the next guy. Hold on, let me move this over a little bit. I apologize, Knicks fans. Let's make sure y'all can get a vivid image of what I'm looking at as well. If you didn't already heard, most bench points since 2020, 4,589 Jordan Clarkson. You got 3,882 Malik Monk. You got 3,594 Bobby Portis, right? Jordan Clarkson in 2024, 2025, 16.2 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game, 41% from the field. You really don't like that. 36% from three. 4 games with 30 plus points off the bench since 2023, 2024. No Knick has done that since Alec Burks, December 2021, right? Obviously, it's Thibodeau. Most bench points in the NBA this century. You got Jordan Clarkson at 3,474 points. You got Nas Reed, 3,386 points. You got Malik Monk, 3,326 points. The plus minus during this stretch, Jordan Clarkson, 472, right? That's a plus 472. That's great. You got Malik Monk at a plus 232, and you got Nas Reed at a plus 8. Shouts to Nas Reed, right? So I think he signed a 5-year, $125 million contract. Love to see stuff like that. Another thing with Jordan Clarkson, highest career bench scoring average, minimum 500 games. 15.4 points per game for Jordan Clarkson. You got Ricky Pierce for 13.6 points per game. You got Lou Williams. Everybody know Lou Will, 13.4 points per game. You got Eddie Johnson, 13.3 points per game. You got Jamal Crawford with a 12.6 points per game. You got J.R. Smith, 12.4 points per game. Also with Jordan Clarkson, right? 8,045 career points off the bench. No other active player has more than 6,700 points off the bench. Knicks bench average in the 2025 playoffs 15.8 points per game. Jordan Clarkson alone in 2024-2025 actually averaged 16.2 points per game. Woo. We needed that pickup, baby. We needed that Jordan Clarkson pickup, man. We ain't have no bench scoring, but hopefully Mike Brown, as the new coach, Mike Brown could come in and Mike Brown could change our fortunes when it comes to the bench, when it comes to using players, when it comes to, just being a goddamn competent coach. Just being a goddamn confident coach. Just be so confident. Like, just be so confident, man. I love what I'm seeing for the New York Knicks when it comes to like building this team and getting to a guy like Mike Brown. Right? I love Mike Brown. And you're damn right. You're damn right, Jay. Jay, I'm so damn tired, man. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. You can see it in my eye. You see I'm tired. You see I'm tired. But I'm up, though. I'm up, though, because this, when I looked at Ben, Ben Stiller yesterday, shout out to Ben Stiller. And Ben Stiller literally, this was like a eye-opening moment for me. Just an eye-opening moment, like, and yes, yes, Jay, my eyes is always like this, bro. Always like this. That's why I gotta wear the bucket hats and stuff when I record. But I'm looking at Ben Stiller. I said Ben Simmons. My fault. Ben Stiller, he looks at me, he points at me. Yo, you state, y'all love you. I love your work. I said, yo, that blew my mind. That blew my mind, bro. Because like, I don't be thinking like how far like my voice stretches. I know I look at the Anchor app analytics. I look at the analytics all the time, and sometimes I don't be thinking like my voice reaches a lot of people. But the fact that Ben Stiller, like, as soon as he see me, yo, State, love what you're doing, love your analysis of the game. That make me feel better, bro. That's the type of stuff that I love, man. Shouts to Kazim, right? From the 7 p.m. of Brooklyn, New York. Shouts to Carmelo Anthony. I got to pick with Carmelo Anthony, too. Carmelo Anthony is my guy. Love Melo. Love Melo. Love what Melo had done for the New York Knicks, man. New York Knicks franchise, man. Melo is one of those guys, man. Melo is one of those guys, man. And just the vibe yesterday. There's me. I know I'm going a little bit off script, but just the vibe yesterday, like, that's the stuff that you like to see. That's the stuff. 7 p.m. Brooklyn, New York. Shouts to them, man. Shouts to Kazim. Hopefully, I can get them on a goddamn Twitter space soon. Hopefully, I get them on a goddamn Twitter space soon. Yes, State, you gotta tone it down. You can't be really, you be wilding. Okay, I get it. I gotta wild out. Tibbs was the coach. I ain't really like him. But this type of stuff that you like to see, man. Shouts to Jalen Brunson, too. Shouts to Kazim, man. 7 p.m. Brooklyn, New York, man. That's stuff that you like to see, man. Next Twitter Day type of vibes, man. That next Twitter Day was it was such a success. But just seeing Ben Stiller, and he was like, yo, State, love what you do. Love what you do. That's great, man. That's great for the psyche, man. Another picture that I would love to share with y'all. That I would love to share with y'all. Shouts to my guy Bunkai, man. This is the face of a man who's looking at a guy at the free throw line. And he's like, this guy sucks. Shouts to my guy Buckeye, man. Shouts to my guy Buckeye, man. One of the guys always got in arguments with, man. Shouts to Buckeye, man. That yesterday was really dope, man. Was really, really effing dope. But shouts to King for that question, too. Just going back to, like, what King asked me and just going off of the top of the dome, whatever comes to my mind about what kind of bench lineups I would love to see. Just mix and match. Mix and match. And another thing I would like for Knicks fans to do, let me share this link with you guys, right? Because obviously I wrote about Mike Brown, and I don't want to not talk about Mike Brown before I get out of here. Oh, and also anybody who wants to join this current live stream, the link is up there. The link is on Twitter, so anybody could join. You just gotta join with a regular camera. Y'all know how I do, man. We're not doing the whole, random Avi thing with anybody. But I wrote a nice little Substack on Mike Brown actually, and shouts to Mike Brown and shouts to everybody who supports like the Substacks I write. You know, nice articles, man. Nice articles. I love writing these Substacks, man. These Substacks is so fun. I found out about Substack through Queen T. Shouts to Queen T on Nick's Twitter, and I seen that she wrote a Substack one day. I'm like, yo, I might as well write one. And me, you know, I've always been a guy who loved comic books, love writing, love reading, love talking about the game of basketball, just love talking about life in general. And like Substack articles has been, it's been a pleasure. Like, and it's so great. I don't charge nobody to read my Substacks. If you want to support, I think it's like $1. So you just pay $1 a month if you do want to support. I don't really care if you want to pay $1 or not. I just care that you just read, right? And obviously, welcome to the New York Knicks, Mike Brown, because the last time I was on a live, I didn't get a chance to welcome Mike Brown to the New York Knicks. So welcome to the New York Knicks, my black brother. I appreciate you coming to the New York Knicks. Before I even get to Mike Brown, shout outs to Thomas Thibodeau for what he's done for the New York Knicks, what he's built for the New York Knicks. I will never, you know, never be ungrateful for what he's done. He lifted our image. He got certain players to come here. He put certain players in positions to succeed. Certain players made millions off this man. Other players didn't make millions off this man. And that's cool. That's fine. That's life. Right. But with Mike Brown, we get an experienced head coach, 4-time NBA champion, won a championship with the Spurs, and he won 3 with the Golden State Warriors. That's something that you like to see. He also won 454 games, and he's lost 304 games. He has a 59% winning percentage. That's what you love to see. That's what you love to see. Shouts to Mike Brown. Mike Brown has also been on All the Smoke podcast, so it's obviously means that the players and current players and past players really enjoy Mike Brown, right? When you could go on a podcast as a coach with former NBA players, that's something that I could really respect. Let me get back to the chat real quick before I finish this Mike Brown talk. Josh Hart, triple double Hart is so unappreciated. Shout out to Josh Hart. I just think he's better served off the bench, right? And I love what his season last season, breaking Walt Clyde Frazier's record. It was dope seeing everybody together. It was dope, bro. It was dope, bro. Knicks Twitter Day was a success. It was a success, man. We got to continue to do that. Hopefully next time it's like in an open space. I mean, if it is in an open space, it'd be cool. But like, I like the like closed gym, and it's like secretive, and it's just Knicks Twitter. It's not really open to like millions of people. You don't really want something like that. Security issues and stuff like that. So you know, everybody's coming for the vibe. Nobody's coming for the nonsense. So, you know, shout out to you, Double A. Appreciate you, man. And am I wrong to believe Clarkson and Yabusele can be six man of the year candidates next year? No, you're not wrong. One of them could definitely pop off. At minimum, Jody Clarkson could give you 15. At minimum, Guerschon Yabusele could give you 11. But who knows what Guerschon Yabusele could do in a starter role? Who knows? Who knows how the starting unit shakes out? I'm just hoping that a young guy is put in the starting unit instead of another vet, so we could like speed up the process of the team and not have to worry about cap space or paying certain guys, because there's always a well, not always, there's already another young guy in the starting lineup who's getting paid for the next 2-3 years, who's making under 10 million. Right, you don't really got to worry about him. It's the other guys that you got to worry about. So if this guy is only getting paid under 10 million and I want to build my team, I'm gonna have to trade one of the bigger contracts. I can keep this guy starting, and when it's his time to get paid, he will get paid, and we will show him equitable compensation. But it's not the time for that now. But that's how you take advantage of this new CBA. You got to take advantage of it. You got to take advantage of it. You got to. You got to. You know. Really glad you and Papa Lev caught up with each other. Yeah, man. Shouts to Papa Lev, man. You know, everybody's different, man. Everybody got different upbringings. Everybody need to understand each other. But sometimes you need to just see people in person. When you see people in person, it's kind of a different story, right? It's kind of a different story with anybody. When you see people in person, you know, as opposed to like this internet garbage, you know, you get a different view of things. And like, you know, I seen Deej yesterday. Me and Deej went at it. We went at it. But I'm not going to be no sucker, right? A sucker would have been a guy who, when I walk in the gym, I would just walk straight past these. It's a man who came to my crib after my pops passed, my OG. I can't do that. That's some sucker shit. Why would I do that? Nah. Yo, you good? Yo, you good? We spoke after. Yo, stay. Yo, you be wilding, bro. You always on 7:30 time. You can't be on 7:30 time, bro. You be bugging the F out. Yo, you know what, these, yo, I apologize. Yeah, it's shit like that. You just gotta have to talk in person. That internet shit, people be talking out of, like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. So shout out to Papa Left, man. Yeah, man. We all gotta get caught up, man. We all gotta get caught up, man. That was great seeing Knicks for the day. Need more. Let's go get Giannis out to the Kubo for the Knicks. No, I'm not talking about no Giannis. Absolutely not. Deuce McBride needs to start. Deuce McBride would not be starting on my 2025 basketball team. I love Deuce. Seen Deuce in person a couple weeks ago. I'm good. I'm good on Deuce McBride starting. Deuce McBride starting, I might as well hit the red button and say Mayday. Why is he starting? He's too short. And I know it. You know what's crazy? I'm not going to deny the fact that every single positive line, matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to show Knicks fans. I'm going to go right to the website. Let's go to Data Ball. Let's go, because, no, wrong. No, Data Ball, LR. Yeah. Because I got to show y'all. It's so insane with Deuce McBride, bro. Let's go to Wowie lineups. Matter of fact, let me make sure I share the screen with you Knicks fans as well. Because with Deuce McBride, it's really insane with this guy, bro. Let me make sure I share the screen. Let me put my face next to here. Right, let's go to Wowie lineups with Deuce. Let's click on this, right? Where's my young boy, Deuce McBride? Let's click on Deuce McBride. Let's go down, right? Let's go to 5-man units. Now, I don't usually click raw, or usually you could click relative, or usually you can click raw. It depends on whatever one you can understand. So the net rating is point differential per 100 possessions, right? So I'm gonna click on the net rating, right? So when it comes to Deuce McBride, you're all seeing the same lineups I'm seeing. Let me make sure we're all seeing the same lineups I'm seeing. And this is Wowie lineups, right? So I'm making sure that you Knicks fans get a view of what a lot of us have seen this past season, right? Let me make sure, okay, it's good. It's a good view. It's a good view. Right, you got Karl-Anthony Towns, Cameron Payne, OG Anunoby, Bridges, Deuce McBride. A plus 40.7, right? Minimum 45 minutes in the game. Now, this is only the regular season. Now, if you want, I'm going to just put all games. Just to simplify it, I'm going to put all games, right? And this includes regular season and playoffs. So I'm looking here. Shout out to Knicks fan. Hold on. Let's zoom in this a little more so people can actually see. Hold on. I want people to see Karl-Anthony Towns' handsome Dominican face. Hold on. Let's make sure we can see Karl-Anthony Towns' handsome Dominican face. Every single lineup Deuce McBride is in. Just so Knicks fans won't be like, yo, come on, State, man. You're not. Right? Shout out to my guy at Memphis. Right? Shout out to my guy at Memphis for the repos. Wacko Brooklyn, 3 straight. Shout out to Wacko Brooklyn. Brunson Bridges, OG, LeBron Cat. OG, how the hell you getting LeBron with that team? How? Good afternoon, Riri, honey. Right? Shout out to my guy, Chai's NFL News and Podcast. Yo, what up? What's good, baby? Shout out to you, man. I'm also streaming live on Twitch right now. As soon as I get off this live stream, I'm going straight to Twitch. I'm going to stream like an hour Resident Evil 4. I'm on chapter 6 right now. So shouts to everybody who will be going to the Twitch streams. Matter of fact, I'll probably play a little bit of the Twitch stream in the background while I'm talking to y'all. But just sticking with Deuce McBride, right? Just sticking with Deuce McBride. Look at here. You got Deuce, Mitch, Brunson, Bridges, OG, and Anobi. And once again, anybody who wants to join this live stream, I shared it on Twitter. I shared it in chat, the chat message. So let me just make sure I share it again just in case. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, State, you ain't share it and this, that, and the third. Because I hate when I'm a Knicks content creator and I go in somebody else's live stream, right? And I go in somebody else's live stream and they not letting me in, they not letting me through. Like, yo, bro, I'm a part of the family. Let me in the building, huh? And appreciate you, John. Appreciate you, J Tap. I'm gonna keep cooking, babe. Keep cooking, man. You know, because another one of the things before I continue with the Deuce McBride narrative, going to Knicks Twitter day, it also increased my love for the game. Easy. I've never been in one single spot. And this matter of fact, let me remove this off the screen real quick. Let me put myself in. I've never been in one single spot in my life. And I'm 35 years old, right? Yes, I got the papers. Yes, the papers. I'm 35 years old. Where I've literally shooken hands with I say easily over 40 to 50 people. Easily. Easy. 40 to 50 people. Easy. Yo, taking pictures with dudes. Yo, State, love what you do. Keep doing what you do, man. Excuse me. I apologize for the audio. State, love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, you gotta keep doing this, man. Keep staying on their necks, man. Keep Yo, State, yo, tone it down a little bit. But I love what you, yo, that's the type of vibes I love, bro. That's the type of vibes I love, man. And I see CP and all of these other cats. I'm like, damn, yo, he going on live again. Nah, man. I gotta step my work ethic up, man. I'm depriving the people of content when I don't do these lives all the time. And plus, the people got to make sure, can this guy really talk basketball? Yes. I just talk it in my way, State way. And listen, I love Knicks fans. Let me add this right back to the stage to get back to this Deuce McBride talk. Because I really want to share what, and hopefully, I hope I can find that conversation when Kevin Durant was speaking about small guards, right? And when Kevin Durant was speaking about small guards, oh, this thing is acting dumb. Oh, come on. There we go, baby. When Kevin Durant was talking about small guards 6'2" and under, what the hell is this? Maybe later. Go F yourself. When Kevin Durant was talking about small guards, talking about 6'2" guards and under, and he was saying, hey, look, listen. Those guys right now is coming off the bench unless you built a certain way. I got Brunson already. I don't need to put Deuce McBride in the backcourt. I think that puts everybody else at a disadvantage. Start it. I think it puts everybody else at a disadvantage. In short spurts, I'll do it. No problem. Short spurts, throw Deuce McBride out. Yes. But starting, no. And these are some of the lineups. Once again, you got Deuce McBride, you got Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby. Their offensive rating was 137.3. Their defensive rating was a 96.9. And their net rating was a plus 40.3 in 51 minutes. In 89 minutes, you've seen Deuce McBride, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns. Their offensive rating was 135.8. Their defensive rating was a 101.9. And there was a plus 34, right? I'm not going to include any lineup that has Campaign in it. Obviously, Campaign won't be returning to the squad. You got a Jericho Sims lineup here. He won't be returning to the squad. You got another Campaign lineup here. He won't be returning to the squad. Now you have a Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride. It was a plus 14.2 and 72 minutes. There was 130.3. And as far as the offensive rating, and it was 116.1 in their defensive rating. So these are just some of the lineups. Now, a lineup that's gotten a lot of minutes that I've seen here. When I look at these bench lineups, hold on, let me remove this real quick. Thibodeau's a war criminal, man. It's super obvious he didn't play the bench enough. As I'm looking through each bench line, like Thibodeau, what the hell was you thinking? What was you thinking? The guys like Mensa, shouts to Mensa, met Mensa yesterday. I met so many people. It put me in a different space. When you meet that many people and it's like, yo, love your takes, man. Keep doing what you do. Shout out to Mensa, man. Mensa, me and him had a debate over this Deuce McBride starter. And I just don't want to do it because he's just so short. If Deuce McBride was 6'6", he'd be the perfect starter for Jalen Brunson. Perfect. That's just me. And that's just me looking at it from a standpoint of he could 3-and-D, kind of tall. And if you got Deuce, OG, Mikal, mind you, none of them could beat Babu. But if you could put them in the right system, it can minimize that. Right? So last but not least, shouts to Bones, man. Shouts to Bones, man. Salute to the brother state. Salute to the best community in the world, man. Yeah, man. Salute to the Knicks community. Wacko, he's still on LeBron. LeBron getting bought out. Imagine LeBron giving back any type of money to the Lakers. Imagine LeBron giving any type of money back to the Lakers, bro. Any type of money. You kidding me? You kidding me? You're not doing that, bro. You're not doing that, bro. So, like, the Knicks, for me, they still have one more move to make. Well, two. You still got a vet minimum. And for me, with that vet minimum, I think there's one guy who I would love on the New York Knicks for that vet minimum, or however much that money is. He's still not signed yet. And that one guy, for me, is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, with the way the Knicks roster's constructed as of right now, would be the perfect fit for the New York Knicks. Perfect fit. So I'm explaining to you the basketball reason why. I'm just looking for this tweet real quick that I put up, just so Knicks fans could see this tweet as well, of the way I illustrated it, right? Because I feel like there's certain things that the Knicks need, right? And let me go back to my share screen. And shouts to all the Knicks fans that's tuning in right now. Appreciate you guys. We got 439 live watchers right now. Appreciate you guys, man. That's very special to me. Solo Dolo podcast. I got to do more. I fake want to get off here and do a space and all that. But, grind don't never stop. Grind don't never stop. But with that said, Ben Simmons, right? I just want to lay this out to you, Knicks fans. I understand the injury stuff. We got, I'm explaining that into the tweet as well. But Ben Simmons, man, he's the perfect fit for the Knicks right now as the way the roster is constructed. First of all, he could play point guard next to Deuce McBride and Jordan Clarkson, right? And you don't necessarily have to match him up with the opposing team's point guard. You can match Deuce McBride up with that guy, right? You still have Jordy Clarkson, a guy who wants to score, a guy who wants to put the ball in the basket. So if you put Ben Simmons next to those two guys, he could generate a lot of easy points for those guys if he's consistently getting to the basket or if he's running consistent DHOs, right? I love the fact that Ben Simmons could do that on this team. And when you got a guy like Mike Brown, you could put Ben Simmons in the Sabonis role where Sabonis was running all of these DHOs all over the court, right? So he could do that, right? Another thing when it comes to lineups, just working in lineups with Clarkson, Guerschon Yabusele, right? He could play small forward, right? Also, he could play power forward, right? He fits next to Cat and Mikal and OG. Now, I think he fits next to those guys because he's the guy that wants the ball in his hands and he's the guy that wants to create for others. The other guys wants to shoot. So why not get a guy who he don't want to score? I'm not bringing him here and telling Ben Simmons, hey, I want you to go get me 20 a night. I'm not asking him to do that. Play your game. Now, if he averages 14 points, 7 rebounds, that's a luxury at this point of his career. That's what I want to bank on. That's a luxury. And he got a guaranteed rotation on the Knicks next season. Guaranteed. He's going to play because he fits a need that the Knicks need. And I could only imagine lineups. We got Guerschon Yabusele, OG Anunoby, and Ben Simmons on the court with Mitchell Robinson. And you're saying, hey, Mitch, Ben Simmons, pick and roll him to death. I don't give a damn if they're sagging off. I don't give a damn. Or you could put Cat in there, remove Mitch, and say, we're going to pick and roll him to death. Okay, you're going to sag off? Cat, bomb him from 3. Mikal, bomb him from 3. Easily. Throw him at power forward, small forward, point guard, small ball center. Easily. If you got a coach that's going to hone in on his skills in the skill set, I'm talking about the skill set. A lot of people judge the person. And once again, can guard 1 through 4. I think it's possible that he could guard 1 through 5. He's going to push the pace. He's going to thrive in a motion offense. He wants to get off the ball. He wants to move the ball. Perfect for Mike Brown's system. Perfect. Once again, DHO hub, like Sabonis, right? Post-up option in a 5-out system. Or he could run in Princeton sets. Right? Oh, and I got a little tweet. Matter of fact, I'm going to share that tweet. From another brother. I love what he said about Mike Brown's system. I'm going to share that tweet before I end this live stream. Right? Secondary creator and lineups with Brunson. Right? So Brunson needs another guy who wants to consistently get in the paint. Right? We also have Casey Smith. He's won the award for best medical staff in basketball. He's won that award. So when you got a guy like Casey Smith, you want to make sure that you take advantage of that. You got OG. OG just played the most games he's played since his rookie season last season. Why am I not banking on this? He would be a major help for Ben Simmons' recovery, short and long-term health. In Ben Simmons' best season, he was all NBA third team, all defensive team. This was 2018, 2019, by the way. He averaged 16.9 points per game, 8.8 rebounds per game, 7.7 assists per game in 79 games. He led the NBA in steals. He was third in the NBA in deflections. He was 10th. He had 10 triple doubles that season. Right? And one of the main things I love about Ben Simmons, he led the NBA in assisted three-pointers made in 2018 and 2019. He led the league in corner 3 assists in multiple seasons since his career started. In 2019, I couldn't get the exact number, but in 2019, 50 to 52% of his assists were three-pointers made in 2019. Before his injury in 2021, no player generated more three-pointers made in the NBA than Ben Simmons. Telling you, man. Career totals: 2,754 assists over 383 games, a 7.2 assist average, 36 career triple doubles, 3 in the playoffs. Youngest rookie in 20 years with a triple double by the third quarter. It was 11-11 left in the game, right? By February 2020, he had 782 career assisted threes, most in his NBA debut. I wouldn't be surprised 5 years later, he's top 3 still in that stat. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised with a guy of his talent. I would listen, and you may not like him. You may not like him. So another guy, people keep bringing up, and it's just so random. Shouts to David Smith because he just brought it up. He literally just brought it up in the chat where David Smith was talking about Bradley Beal. So my issue with Bradley Beal is if this was 5 years ago, I would love to have Bradley Beal. After seeing him last season, I don't think him and Jalen Brunson would be a good fit in the backcourt. Although he fits some of the boxes, like he could beat Babu, right? He get his own shot. He's an elite three-point shooter. He's led the league in NBA points per game before. So shouts to Bradley Beal. I love the talent. Does he fit after Jordan Clarkson? At this point, I can't say no to no talent, but I would say that Bradley Beal is a guy, he would only fit on the Knicks if he's the starter. Like, I don't see us having, so you're saying you're going to remove Josh Hart, you're going to start Bradley Beal. Then off your bench, you got Deuce McBride, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Hart, Guerschon Yabusele. I don't really like that. I don't really like that. That's not enough ball handling. That's not enough ball handling coming off the bench. I need somebody who's gonna come off the bench and give me ball handling. That's why if the Knicks would have waited and now they would have got Bradley Beal instead of Jordan Clarkson, okay, you kind of cooking. You still cooking with Jordan Clarkson, but I can't do I can't do both Jordan Clarkson and Bradley Beal. I think it's too redundant. I think it's like you had pancakes with butter already and the butter melted and you're putting mad syrup on your pancakes. Like, slow down. Like, you only need a little bit on the side, bro. You put a little bit on top with the butter and all that, but you don't want to be too ghetto with it, right? You don't want to destroy your plate and make your pancakes soggy, right? You trying to make the pancakes soggy. I don't want to make the pancakes soggy. Bradley Beal and Jordy Clarkson. I understand if you just got Bradley Beal and no Jordy Clarkson. I can't understand both unless Bradley Beal is starting, and I don't want him starting for the New York Knicks. I don't want him starting. And I'm telling you, David Smith, that's the best analogy I got for Bradley Beal. Because I'm not here to, I don't want to poo-poo on players. I don't think it's right to poo-poo on Bradley Beal in front of 496 live people watching. You would have to start him. That's the only way. And I don't want to start him. Not next to Brunson. I'm sorry. And I love you, brother. I love the thought process behind it. I love the thought process behind it. Love the thought process behind it. Love it. But no, bro. No, bro. Oh, once again, let me make sure Knicks fans know what I'm doing right directly after this, because I love to play video games. I'm actually playing Resident Evil 4 right now on my Twitch. And I love playing games, man. And once again, shout out to Knicks Twitter Day. And I'm meeting all of you MFers. Love you guys, man. Now I can't really curse you guys out no more, man. I'm sick of you MFs. Also, just to link this plug, make sure you guys go read the most recent Substack that I wrote with Mike Brown, officially the 32nd head coach of the New York Knicks, right? 2-time NBA Coach of the Year. Obviously, I said 4-time NBA champion already. Make sure you go read the Substack. Shout outs to Mike Brown. Shout outs to the New York Knicks for hiring our guy Mike Brown. Make sure you go read the Substack. No, you know what? I don't even think I could play like a Resident Evil on here. I don't. Matter of fact, you know what the hell with it? It's my Twitch anyway. It's my content. So, but I want to make sure that all you guys make sure you go in to the Twitch, right? Twitch TV, right? SNYK Gaming. Let me share this over here, right? That's me, obviously playing Resident Evil 4. But make sure you go to my Twitch channel. Make sure you go follow. Make sure you go follow my goddamn Substacks too. We getting close to 100 now. I would have never thought I was getting to 100. I got a Lenny Wilkins Substack coming too soon. So be on the lookout for that. I got a Lenny Wilkins Substack coming too. Matter of fact, I might have it coming later on this day, today. But make sure all of you Knicks fans, make sure you go follow my Resident Evil and all that, because I'm definitely about to play that. Right as soon as I get off of here, the content don't stop, work don't stop, right? But I guess I got into everything, right? You know, we got into Mike Brown, we got into Guerschon Yabusele, we got into my guy Jay from Florida. Yo, stay, you can barely open your eyes. I can never open my eyes, bro. I'm high out of life at this point. We also got into, you know, Mike Brown. Shouts to Mike Brown. The one thing that Mike Brown liked to do, I guess, let me see if I can find this in a quick enough time. One of the things that Mike Brown loved to do, and I wanted to make sure that this guy gets his just due. Let me keep scrolling down, because he actually like pointed out what's the offensive system with Mike Brown. Because I didn't know. Me, I'm doing my homework every day. Every day that I'm going on the Twitter, I'm going on the YouTube, I'm typing in Mike Brown offense, I'm typing in what he needs to do on offense, what he likes to do, what he likes to do on defense. I'm not necessarily focused on the defensive side of the ball now. When it comes to Mike Brown, I get into the defensive side of the ball right after Summer League. Right after Summer League, we got to focus on one thing at a time. Just for right now, though, I was really focused on his offense. And I wanted to know, like, what does this guy run? And what does he like to do on a day-to-day basis? Hold on. Matter of fact, let me just go to my Substack. Let me just go to my Substack, click on this good old link here. So when it comes to Mike Brown, we're going to refer right back to my Substack article. And I wanted to point out 4 offensive principles when it came to Mike Brown. And hold on, make sure, well, let me control C this. My Fort Nick fans, let me make sure I get this to the right screen. There we go. So let me do this share screen with y'all again, talking about I got Mike Brown. So one of the things in the article, right? Oh, let me not get away from this. Only 3 coaches in NBA history have won multiple Coach of the Year awards and posted a 550 plus playoff winning percentage. Pat Riley, Greg Popovich, Mike Brown. Career record. Obviously, we said the 454 over 304, a 59% career winning percentage. Love that from him, right? I love that from him. He's only 24 coaches in NBA history with 450 plus regular season wins and 50 plus playoff wins in his career. Love that about Mike Brown. Some of the all-stars he's coached. He's coached LeBron James. He's coached Jonas Agauskas. He's coached Mo Williams. He's coached Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, De'Aaron Fox. Other players he's coached, right? Kevin Love, Anderson Varejao, Derek Williams, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, Andrew Bynum, Meadowell Peace, Mike Bibby, Peja Stojakovic. Worked briefly with those guys, right? Another thing that you like about Mike Brown. So it's offensive rankings for each of his teams. You know, you got ninth here. I love the fact that a lot of you Knicks fans can see this screen. David Smith, LeBron is a great player. If I had LeBron, I would have a career winning percentage of 59% too. But you can't hate on the talent that he had available to him to work with. That's why I think stuff like that is irrelevant. You still got to coach LeBron. LeBron been a first round exit for the past couple of years. You still got to coach him, bro. So, you know, 2006 Cavs, you got 9th overall offensive rating. Their defensive rating was 14th. So just sticking with the best offensive rating and the best defensive rating that he's had over the years. In 2006, 2007, he was 4th overall, right? Let me make sure we scroll down. Matter of fact, let's zoom. Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. No, well, it's not letting me zoom out. Okay, no problem. Cool. You got it. No problem. So, you know, the 2024, well, the 2022 Kings, 2022, 2023, he was first in offense at the time. I think he had the highest offensive rating at the time. Noted in 2022, 2023, the Kings posted the highest offensive rating in NBA history at the time, 119.4. Obviously, that was surpassed by the Boston Celtics, right? Because the Boston Celtics, they had a crazy offensive rating in 2024. His highest defensive rating was the 2008-2009 Cavs. He was ranked 3rd in the NBA, 102.4, right? So defense is not necessarily his forte, but I think that the teams that he's necessarily handed to him, those teams weren't defensive teams at all. They didn't have a lot of good defensive players. Hopefully next season with the New York Knicks, the Knicks can be top 10 in defense and they can also be top 10 in offense. Usually teams that win championships, they're usually almost all the time top 12 in defensive rating. That's a key stat to championship teams, is that defensive rating. Can you defend? Can you defend? People need to understand that, right? Also, can you make good shots? Can you get good shots off? Right? Are you playing for others? So shout out to Mike Brown, man, and shout out to what he likes to do. If you guys want, you can always refer to my Substack article. And it's a little segment in the Substack article where we have our guy right here. And yo, I love this guy. I love this guy YouTube channel. This was great. Shouts to Coach. Shouts to Coach, man. Let me play some of this real quick, right? Let me play some of this real quick, just for the Knicks fans.
Today, we're going to break down the Sacramento Kings offense, and I'm going to show you the 4 major components that they use to structure their half-court system. My name is Coach Dorsey, and this channel is for basketball coaches who want to get more wins through improving their knowledge of X's and O's.
First of all, shout outs to Coach Dorsey. Make sure y'all go follow Coach Dorsey's YouTube channel. This was this breakdown was so elite that he even made me, I sat down and said, yeah, bro, this is what I like to see. But yo, let's listen to what he say. I think this was a beautiful explanation.
So the 4 major components that create the Sacramento Kings half-court offense is double drags, Princeton concepts, UCLA cuts, and 5-out motion. Now let's take a deep dive into all 4 components and break down the Sacramento Kings half-court offense. Now the first component of their half-court offense is the double drag. The 4 and the 5 will go into a double ball screen for the 1, and the 1 will use that screen. Now, this is just a decoy to create separation for the 4 and the 5 to continue their screening to a double pin down for 2. 2 can either go under the screen or curl the screen to receive a layup from the 1. Now, if the
love
2
that
isn't
concept.
open on the curl, the 4 will come off a single pin down from the 5 to get an open 3-point shot from the 1.
Love this concept. That's a great concept, by the way.
Comes off the single pin down from the 5. If they don't have the open 3-point shot, they'll pass it to the 5 at the pinch post area and come off a get action, and the 5 will dive to the basket. This will open up a pocket pass and force 2x and 3x to help on the 5, which will allow the open 3-point shot for the 3.
See that? Love these concepts. Love how he illustrated it too as well. You see the pass right here, right? You see the DHO. He's coming off the screen. Love that. Love the pocket pass right there to the 5. That's another pass out. Love the catch and shoot 3.
Second component, which is my favorite part of their offense, is the Princeton concepts. When the ball is at the top, the 5 will flash to the pinch post, and this puts them in a point formation. The first option for the point guard is to do a give and go down the middle to receive a layup from the 5.
See that? Nice little concept right there.
Option is to get into split action with the 3 at the opposite elbow. The 1 will slip to the basket, and the 3 will go over to get the pass from the 5.
See that? So the 3 coming over. So this, you see, like that. I like that.
Is pass into a ball screen and dive to the basket, while the 4 will set an exit screen for 1 to get an open 3-point shot from the 3.
I like that. I like that concept. I like that concept. You see that? Bang. Like that concept.
Now, if the ball is on the wing or the outer third offensively, the 5 will flash to the ball side elbow. And this puts them in a jungle formation. Jungle is the exact same as point, but now it's done on the side. The 1 will do a pin down for 3, and 3 can go over that screen to get an open 3-point shot from the 5.
That's dope. That's dope. So you see Harrison Barnes, he passed off the ball. So this will be Cat, right? So love the screen, the off-ball screen right there. See Davion Mitchell, bang.
Want to learn more about Princeton concepts like point and jungle? Just click the link below. I'll teach you the step-by-step process on exactly how to install the Princeton offense in just 28 days or less.
Please go click on his link. The breakdown was so elite. I said, nah, I gotta show this guy some love, bro. Gotta show some love. And also, just for myself, just learning, and just for Knicks fans to just learn just the simple concept. So that's why I incorporated this specific part into the Substack articles. I said, nah, I gotta know what this guy's going to run, so I know what players can do and what kind of positions players is going to be in on the court. So make sure you go follow Coach, please, man. Please go follow Coach.
Now, the third component of their offense is the UCLA action. This action is triggered by a handoff between the 2 and the 3. The 3 will reverse the
so basically OG. So whoever's the 2 and the 3, whoever's my 3, if I got a 2 that could beat bop boop and we doing a handoff action, now my 2 could come up. And if he sees somebody that's guarding him and he don't like him, he could beat bop boop him and get right to the cup. Your 5 is right there. Your 4 is spotting up in the corner. Your 4 probably be Guerschon Yabusele. So I like this concept too. Shout out to Coach, man. Continue to cook. I apologize, brother.
The ball to 1, and the 5 will flash to the pinch post. If the 1 can't pass it to 5 and go into point action, the 4 will lift to the wing, and now the 5 will set a UCLA screen for the 1. The 1 will go through to the opposite corner, and the 5 will go into a middle ball screen for 4 and receive the pocket pass for a layup.
Okay, so you see Harrison Barnes, he steps up, pass the ball. Okay, look at Sabonis. He's in every action. Sabonis, nice screen, nice pick and roll play. Sabonis, easy dunk.
The reversal to the 4 is taken away, The 5 will set a flat ball screen for the point guard, and they have 3 scoring options. They can use or refuse the screen for a layup, stop for a pull-up jump shot, or if the defense goes under the 5, the point guard can stop for a 3-point shot.
Another action right here. So you see, Jalen Brunson be causing that off-ball screen. Jalen Brunson to get the ball back. Now Sabonis in the action again. All right, he refused the ball screen. Nice play. Ooh, nice move, De'Aaron Fox. Like that play. Okay. We got Trey Lyles here. He come up with the nice little ball screen. Harrison Barnes, he gives it to De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, he runs the ball screen again. Okay, mid-range jumper right there. Pick and pop. Nice that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Here's De'Aaron Fox again, passes the ball off. You see Monk, he got a little beep bop boop to him. He refuses the ball screen, step in 3, splash.
Opponent that creates their offense is their 5-out action. The 1 will pass it to the 5 at the top, and the 5 will look at 3. 3 will do an automatic back cut to receive the layup from the 5.
Okay, so Karl-Anthony Towns, he'll get the ball. Okay, nice cut to the rim. That's something I need OG to be doing every time.
Takes away the backdoor pass. It will open up the post up for an high-low action between the 5 and the 3 for a layup.
Okay, so kind of get the ball again right here. We're just using Sabonis as the example. Okay, good post-up seal. Good post-up seal.
If the back cut or post-up high-low isn't open, the 3 will go out to the opposite corner, and the 2 will lift to the wing. And now the 5 will follow their pass into an empty ball screen to receive the pocket pass layup from the 2.
Easy. Okay. Here we go. Cat be in this action. There go Mikal. See, Mikal got to get into that goddamn paint, man. Nice pick and roll action.
X helps on the back cut. The 5 will dribble at 2, and the 2 will go over to receive a handoff for an open 3-point shot from the 5.
Okay, another action here. Karl-Anthony Towns, he be setting it. He will be setting this up. 50 bingo over. Okay, Harrison Barnes, nice step in 3.
Action, they'll also get into zoom. The 1 will set a pin down for 4, and the 5 will do a dribble handoff. The 4 will fake it under and come over to get that handoff from 5 and turn the corner. 1 will lift to occupy the defense, and the 5 will dive to the basket to receive the layup from the 4.
Nice little zoom over pocket, right? Nice pick and roll ball screen. Love that. Okay, Sabonis, nice layup. Nice ball screen layup.
Play the pocket pass on the zoom action.
Let me start that over again.
Now, if the defense takes away the pocket pass on the zoom action, the 4 has the option to stop for a mid-range jump shot.
Like this. All right, transition zoom action, right? Sabonis, he comes up, gets right into a DHO. Look, open area, open area. That's something that
Now, once they've beaten the defense with a pocket pass and a mid-range jumper, the 4 will stop behind 5 for an open 3-point shot.
Okay, zoom over snipe. Good pick and roll screen. Okay, he's wide open too. Oh my God.
If the over in zoom isn't open for the 3, the 5 will stop and set a Ricky rescreen, and the 4 will utilize that screen to get to the rim for a layup or stop for a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, I like that. Another ball action screen. Okay, zoom Mickey. Okay, Sabonis, he's rolling to the rim hard. Oh man, Malik Monk is killing in this system. Okay, you got De'Aaron Fox, nice zoom Ricky screen. Okay, nice midi, nice little stop high midi.
This video, be sure to like and subscribe, but also check out my other 2 videos so you could gain more knowledge about X's and O's.
Yo, please go follow this guy's YouTube, man. He is Coach. I'm telling y'all, man, Coach is one of those guys where you know, I'm on YouTube and I'm looking for offense and I'm looking for offensive concepts and I'm looking for people who can you know, who knows the game probably more than I do. So once again, let's share coaches.
Click the link below. I'll teach you the step-by-step process on exactly how to install the Princeton offense in just 28 days or less. Now,
So shouts to Coach, man. This was dope, man. I love his YouTube channel. Um, I gotta make sure that people know his YouTube channel. So Coach YouTube channel, right? Make sure I show Coach mad love on this. So Coach YouTube channel is a basketball film room, right? And I hope a lot more people go follow this man's channel. This is a great channel. I found out about it just trying to do my research on Mike Brown and trying to see what information I could provide for Knicks fans. And I came across his station. So make sure you go follow this guy's station. Also, I want Knicks fans to know that I'm trying to get Kazim, right? Trying to get Kazim. I'm trying to get him on the Twitter spaces. Hopefully I could get him next week, or hopefully I could get him this week on the Twitter spaces. And we could definitely talk some Knicks, and we could definitely talk you know, how the Knicks can improve and things of that nature, man. But I'm very happy with, you know, Knicks Twitter Day and what the Knicks is doing so far during the off season. Hopefully they can continue what they're doing this off season. Hold on. Let me make sure Knicks fans see the pic with me and my guy Ben Stiller. I already shared the pic with our guy, me and Bunkai. Oh, I also got another pic, man. I want to make sure I shout out to the OGs. Well, all the OGs on Knicks Twitter, but also shout out to my guy, you know. Hey, you know, you like, yo, why the hell State look like this, man? Why he look like he just disappointed, man? Nah, man. I was having a picture, right? Yeah, I'm in a picture. Shout out to my guy Fly. I'm in a picture. Somebody asked me, I forgot who asked me a certain question. He asked me a question about, I think it was OG and Anobi. And I was like, yo, bro, don't ask me about OG right now, bro. And he took the picture anyway. So shout out to my guy Fly. You know, go follow his page, man. He does music as well. Shout out to my guy OG Billy. Make sure you go follow Billy Twitter page as well, man. Both of these guys are great human beings. And Fly, he also got the t-shirt warm up for Knicks Homan, man. Shout out to Knicks Homan. He make merch too. As soon as this YouTube live end, I'm definitely going to share the new t-shirt that I got, the Mike Brown, Bobby Lashley t-shirt. That's going to be dope, man. That's going to be flying like hotcakes, man. I can't wait to release that. The Mike Brown, Bobby Lashley t-shirt. But with that said, this pick, man, our guy, known Knicks fan, and listen, I don't know what the hell my cousin was doing. I don't know what my cousin was doing. My cousin was off the sauce. He looking at another camera. We got mad cameras on us. He looking at the cameras and all that. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't know what that, but shout outs to Ben Stiller. See, once again, I said this earlier in the pod. See me? Say, yo, State, I love what you're doing, baby. Yo, I said, yo, Ben Stiller, that's the GOAT. I did what? Lord fuck why? I can't. And everybody know, man, Ben Stiller's a huge Knicks fan. You know, he's a huge Knicks fan. Shout outs to Ben Stiller, man. Matter of fact, just to like run it down upon what he's done in the movie industry. Well, you know, just to break it down, shout outs to Ben Stiller once again, man. And shout outs to Kazim, man. 7 p.m. Brooklyn. Shout outs to Carmelo Anthony, man. Once again. Right, Ben Stiller, he was in Zonelander. Right, he was in There's Something About Mary. Right, a true underdog story. He was in he was in Dodgeball. My fault. He was in Tropic Thunder. Right, he was in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. He was Greg Fokker in Meet the Parents, right? He was in Tower Heist. He was in Brad Status. He was in Heartbreak Kid. Larry Daly in Night at the Museum series, right? Sam Sweet in The Cable Guy. Alex the Lion in Madagascar trilogy. Yeah, I love Madagascar. I love Madagascar. Shout out to Ben Stiller, man. This was great, man. Shout out to Ben Stiller, man. Shout out to Ben Stiller, man. But once again, shout out to all you Knicks fans, man. You know, this was a great pod, man. You know, just talking about Jody Clarkson, Guerschon Yabusele, Mike Brown. I definitely wanted Knicks fans to definitely see this guy, coach, break down what are the 4 key principles to Mike Brown's offense. Next week, I'm going to really focus on Mike Brown's defense and what his defensive concepts are. We also have Knicks Summer League coming. So I want to see some fireworks in Summer League, man. Go for that Summer League championship, man. It starts now. It starts this summer. Shout out to all you Knicks fans, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit. Wanted to chop it up with you guys. And shout out to, you know, Lord Fuck, Greg Farquaad. Shout out to Ben Stiller, man. Also, once again, man, shout out to Kazim, man. And shout out to all the Knicks fans that pulled up to Knicks Twitter Day, man. That's a special day, a special time, special moment. I hopefully we all are not arguing anymore, and we could all be cool. We could all be one with the people, right? Shout out to Kazim, 7 p.m. This is great, man. This was great, man. But once again, salute to all you Knicks fans. I'm out of here. Make sure you go follow my Twitch streams. I'm about to be on there for a few. I'm going to holler at you guys. Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your boy State, man. And shouts to the OG Rick, man. Half a Brick 718. If you want any instrumental, he makes instrumentals. He made mine. The inspiration behind the instrumental was Samurai Champloo. And anybody who's watched Samurai Champloo, you know about the anime scene. That anime is one of the golden eras of anime. But I love their you know, hip hop influence in that show, man. I love it, man. And just the I think RZA worked on that show too. If I'm dead not mistaken, I think RZA was working on that show. I'm gonna have to look that up. But it does have some RZA concepts, Wu-Tang concepts. If you're a young boy, please go watch Samurai Champloo, man. It's a dope anime. It's a dope anime for sure. Shout out to all you Knicks fans once again. I'm out of here. Peace and blessings, man. Your boy State. Go follow the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Bean. I'm everywhere. Go follow the merch, SNYK Printify Me. Go follow the Substacks, Substack, SNYK. What else? Go follow the Reddit post too. You know, SNYK Podcast, Reddit post, YouTube channel. You already see me on YouTube. Go follow my Instagram, State of New York Knicks, State Knicks. But I'm out of here, man. Peace and blessings, man. Love you guys. Once again, y'all have a blessed weekend.